In this video, we're going to show you how to install headlights on your Hummer H3 located on the front side of the vehicle. Now with the hood open, you're going to access 4 10mm bolts. You're going to follow the corner of the fender over right to the top of the grille, and there is a 10mm nut right here. I'm just going to use a standard 10mm socket and my 1/4" ratchet. Going to go ahead, loosen and spin that off. We're going to be reusing this hardware, so don't lose it. Once you remove this one here, we're going to run right over to the driver's side, and we're going to do the same there. Now to locate the other two, you're going to come to the latch here, and you're just going to move to the left. You're going to locate our 3rd bolt right here. Now the 2 outer ones were nuts. The 2 center ones here are going to be bolts. There's that one there. And if you go to the latch and then just follow it over to the right on the driver's side and do the same here. Now on the driver's side headlight, if you follow it into the first opening here and down to the bottom, there's another bolt right here. I'm just using some extensions to get in there. Same 10mm. Another bolt right there. We're going to repeat this process for the passenger side. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab our grill around the edges here and just pull forward. And we're going to go and repeat this process for the passenger side. Grab the grill and pull it away. Now the 2 10mm screws right here. I'm just using an extension with a 10mm socket. We're going to reuse this hardware, so don't lose it. Now the 3rd screw is going to be down in this lower portion right here. I'm going to show you on the new lamp where it's going to be located. Now the 2 we just removed are here and up here, and the other one we're going for is down on the bottom here. So it's kind of like you have to reach down on the bottom side. You're going to go beside the headlight down inside here and then just kind of reach around. I'm going to use my 10mm socket and my 1/4" ratchet. If you have a stubby ratchet, it'll be better for you to get in there. Probably going to get to a point where you can actually just spin out that bolt the rest of the way. And there it is. Now on the inboard portion right here, there's a little tab that goes into the radiator core support. We're just going to use our screwdriver and pry that out, like so. Now if you look up on the top here, there's a plastic tab that lines up with the housing. We're going to grab this lamp assembly. Work this out. Now this is a little plastic tab on the top side here. That's why we're replacing it, as one of our tabs here was actually broken and the lamp had a little bit of play to it, but nothing major. Now on the back side, I want to go ahead and remove our bulbs. Our lamp assembly is kind of dirty here, but there's a little tab here. I can use a pocket screwdriver. You might be able to use your finger in there, but a pocket screwdriver is going to be perfect for this. And you're just going to lift up gently and then wiggle this out like so. Now if you follow the harness around, there's going to be plastic retainers. I'm going to use my pry tool here, my trim tool, to pop these out. Then you have a bulb right here. This is a simple pinch tab. Use your thumb, pinch that, pull it off. And then on the bottom side here, we have the large connector. Going to use your trim tool and just work that out. Remove the headlamp assembly. Press in the large harness into the base here. Install the bulb harness here, line it up, push it on. Now you're going to take your headlamp assembly and you're going to tilt down the upper bracket to go underneath the fender. And up top there's a tab with a pin that needs to line up. As you push this up and in, you're working the headlamp over the rubber deflector on the bottom here. So you're doing a couple different things to work this into place. There we go. Now we're lining up tabs along the top here in the back, and also with the alignment tab on the top. So slide the headlamp hole over this tab. Line up the other body pins with the headlamp assembly. One of the key things you need to pay attention to is on the bottom side here, there's a metal bracket that comes over, it bolts to the, or clips to the side of the fender, and it comes around and it attaches on the front portion of the headlamp assembly. You want to make sure that that bracket is on the face of the headlamp assembly itself and not behind it. Otherwise, the lamp won't sit flush. Once this is flush, line up the rest of this. And then we can push our tab in. Let's now install our bolts. I'm going to install our lower bolt. I'm going to get that bolt started, thread in several threads, and then we'll come on down to the two center ones. I want to get all three of these started first before we tighten anything down. Now I'm going to use my 1/4-inch ratchet. We're securing plastic, so I don't want to use my impact gun and risk cracking the housing. So once that bolt bottoms out, just snug it. All right, those two are snug. Let's go ahead and tighten down the third and last one. Adjusting your Hummer H3 headlights is done through this little pocket right here. You can use a number 6 socket to go over the top of the screw right here, or you can use a Torx bit. It is a T15 and go in the center. And what you're going to do is you're going to set your headlamps in a position so that they're up against a wall or an adjustment board, and turn this clockwise or counterclockwise to raise or lower your headlamp beam. Now we're gonna go ahead and install our grille. I want to pay attention to the tabs that are on the ends. These need to line up on little particular pockets on the headlight frame itself. So you're going to start at one side, work your way down and around. Line that side up and just push it in. You're going to hear it and feel it lock into place. Once that's all set, we can now go ahead and install our bolts. And we're going to use our extension and get our bolt lined up inside here. Now our plan is to go ahead and get all of the bolts started, and you don't want to tighten them down yet. Get them all started, and then once everything is in place, we can go ahead and tighten them down. Go ahead and get this one in on the passenger side. The two centers here are started. Let's install the 4 on the top. We have the nut here. We have one of the bolts going inward into the core support. Just continue this process just as we removed it. We're going to install. Okay, now we can go ahead and snug them all down. I recommend just using a ratchet or a gear wrench. You don't want to use power tools on this because, well, you're securing plastic and you don't want to risk cracking the plastic. Simple over torquing or tightening will break these here, so. How tight to tighten them? You want them snug. So right there, let's see, right here the bolt has bottomed out just a hair bit more. So just a smidge past bottoming them out up against the plastic. Snug, and then let's finish up with the 2 in the front of the grille.
Now we're going to get the vehicle ready to aim the headlights. Start with the tire pressure, making sure all 4 tires are set at the appropriate pressure. Remove any excessive weight that's not normally in the vehicle. Find a wall that you can drive up to where the ground is level. Measure 25 feet away from that wall and mark the ground. Drive your vehicle up to that mark. With the headlights off, look for the center dot in the headlight lens. Measure from the ground to that center dot. You can use a ruler to help you out. Transferring that measurement to the wall, making a mark with some tape. On the driver's side, measure down 4 inches, putting another piece of tape. For the passenger side, you only need to measure down 2 inches. Now turning the headlights on, it is easier to do this at night or in a dark area. Locating your headlight adjuster and using a Phillips head screwdriver, turn your adjuster one way or another to bring the headlight up or down. Once the headlight is adjusted to the tape mark on the wall, move on to the next headlight. If you're confused because the beams seem to blend together, you can always have someone stand in front of the other headlight while you make your adjustments for that one. Now your headlights are aligned and you're all set to go.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.